Antarctica, a continent in transition. The frozen continent of Antarctica stands as one of the last true wildernesses on our planet, a vast, icy expanse that has captured the imagination of explorers and scientists alike for centuries. Yet, as the Earth's climate continues to shift, this remote and inhospitable land is undergoing profound changes that are reshaping its delicate ecosystems and challenging our understanding of its role in the global environment. Antarctica, a continent in transition. From the retreating glaciers and melting ice sheets to the shifting patterns of marine life and the disruption of fragile food webs, the signs of transformation are all around. As researchers delve deeper into the mysteries of this frozen frontier, they are uncovering a complex story of adaptation and resilience, as well as the profound impact that human activity is having on this remote and pristine continent. Melting ice sheets and rising seas. Alarming rates of ice loss. The Antarctic ice sheets, which contain 90% of the world's fresh water, are melting at unprecedented rates due to global warming. Satellite data shows that the continent is losing an average of 149 billion tons of ice per year, with the rate of loss accelerating over the past 2 decades. This rapid ice melt is contributing to a steady rise in global sea levels, posing a grave threat to coastal communities and ecosystems worldwide. Irreversible impacts. As the ice shelves crumble and glaciers retreat, the delicate balance of Antarctica's fragile ecosystems is being disrupted. This loss of ice has far-reaching consequences, including the displacement of native wildlife, the disruption of weather patterns, and the potential for catastrophic sea level rise. Scientists warn that many of these changes may be irreversible, underscoring the urgent need for global action to address climate change. Amplifying global risks. The melting of the Antarctic ice sheets is not just a local issue, it has global implications. As sea levels continue to rise, coastal cities and island nations around the world face the prospect of increased flooding, erosion, and displacement of populations. This heightens the risk of humanitarian crises, economic disruption, and conflicts over scarce resources, making the fate of Antarctica's ice a matter of international concern and cooperation. Feedback loops and tipping points. The loss of ice in Antarctica is part of a complex web of feedback loops that can accelerate climate change. As the reflective white surfaces of ice and snow are replaced by darker land or ocean, the absorption of heat increases, leading to further melting and a self-perpetuating cycle. Scientists warn that crossing certain tipping points could lead to runaway changes with catastrophic consequences, making the need for swift and decisive action even more urgent. Unique ecosystems and biodiversity. Antarctica is home to some of the most unique and fragile ecosystems on Earth. The continent's isolation and extreme environmental conditions have led to the evolution of remarkable species found nowhere else in the world. From the iconic emperor penguins and majestic Antarctic petrels to the resilient Antarctic krill and the mysterious Weddell seal, the biodiversity of this icy continent is truly awe-inspiring. Unique ecosystems and biodiversity. These ecosystems are delicately balanced and highly sensitive to the impacts of climate change. As temperatures rise and sea ice melts, the very foundation of the Antarctic food web is being threatened. The decline of keystone species like krill, a crucial food source for many marine mammals and birds, could have cascading effects throughout the entire ecosystem. Preserving the pristine natural wonders of Antarctica is not just an environmental imperative, but a moral obligation to protect these irreplaceable habitats for future generations. Scientific research and exploration. Pioneering expeditions. The history of scientific research and exploration in Antarctica is marked by heroic expeditions that pushed the boundaries of human endurance and technological capabilities. From the early explorations of Sir Ernest Shackleton and Robert Falcon Scott to the modern-day adventures of scientists and adventurers, the continent has captivated the world's imagination. These pioneering journeys have not only expanded our understanding of the region, but have also inspired generations of researchers and explorers to continue pushing the limits of human knowledge and exploration. Cutting-edge science. Today, Antarctica is a hub of cutting-edge scientific research, attracting scientists from around the world to study a vast array of topics, from climate change and glaciology to astronomy and astrophysics. The continent's unique environment, isolation, and pristine ecosystems provide unparalleled opportunities for scientific discovery. Researchers work tirelessly to unravel the mysteries of the continent, from the impacts of global warming on the ice sheets to the evolution of life in the harshest environments on Earth. Collaborative efforts. Scientific research in Antarctica is a collaborative endeavor, with scientists from various nations and disciplines working together to advance our understanding of the continent and its role in the global ecosystem. The Antarctic Treaty System, established in 1959, has fostered a spirit of international cooperation and scientific collaboration, ensuring that the continent remains a place of peace and scientific inquiry. This collaborative approach has led to groundbreaking discoveries and has helped to shape our understanding of the planet's past, present, and future. Geopolitical tensions and territorial claims. Competing interests. Antarctica has long been a source of geopolitical tensions due to its strategic importance and the competing interests of various nations. The continent is governed by the Antarctic Treaty System, which was established in 1959 and currently has over 50 signatory countries. However, the treaty's principles of peaceful and scientific cooperation have been challenged by some nations' desire to assert their sovereignty and exploit the region's natural resources. Territorial disputes. Several countries, including Argentina, Chile, and the United Kingdom, have made territorial claims in Antarctica, leading to ongoing disputes and tensions. These claims are based on historical exploration, geographic proximity, and economic interests. The lack of a clear resolution to these claims has created uncertainty and the potential for conflict, particularly as climate change opens up new opportunities for resource extraction and transportation. Militarization concerns. The potential for military activities in Antarctica has also raised concerns among the international community. Some nations have established research stations and outposts that could potentially be used for military purposes, such as monitoring and surveillance. This has led to calls for greater transparency and cooperation to ensure that Antarctica remains a peaceful and demilitarized zone, as outlined in the Antarctic Treaty. Environmental impacts. The geopolitical tensions in Antarctica also have significant implications for the region's fragile environment. The pursuit of national interests and resource extraction could lead to environmental degradation, habitat destruction, and the disruption of delicate ecosystems. This has prompted calls for stronger environmental protections and sustainable development practices in the region, which must be balanced against the competing economic and political interests of the involved nations. Environmental challenges and conservation efforts. Melting ice caps. Antarctica's ice sheets and glaciers are melting at an alarming rate due to global warming, leading to a steady rise in sea levels that threatens coastal communities worldwide. This dramatic environmental change is altering the delicate balance of the continent's unique ecosystems, putting countless species of flora and fauna at risk of extinction. Scientific monitoring and research. Scientists from around the world are conducting extensive research in Antarctica to understand the extent and causes of climate change and its impact on the continent's fragile environment. They are studying ice cores, monitoring wildlife populations, and collecting data on weather patterns and ocean currents to inform global conservation efforts and policy decisions. Conservation and sustainability initiatives. Governments, environmental organizations, and local communities are working together to develop and implement sustainable practices and conservation strategies in Antarctica. These efforts include reducing plastic pollution, protecting endangered species, and promoting ecotourism that minimizes the human footprint on the continent. However, more comprehensive and coordinated action is needed to safeguard Antarctica's delicate ecosystems for future generations. Environmental challenges and conservation efforts. Conservation and sustainability initiatives. Governments, environmental organizations, and local communities are working together to develop and implement sustainable practices and conservation strategies in Antarctica. These efforts include reducing plastic pollution, protecting endangered species, and promoting ecotourism that minimizes the human footprint on the continent. However, more comprehensive and coordinated action is needed to safeguard Antarctica's delicate ecosystems for future generations. Tourism and its impact on the region. Increased visitation. Growing numbers of tourists drawn to Antarctica's unique landscapes and wildlife. Infrastructure development. Expansion of research stations, airports, and other facilities to support tourism. Environmental pressures. Concerns over the impact of human activity on fragile ecosystems. The increase in tourism to Antarctica has had a significant impact on the region. With more visitors drawn to the continent's stunning natural beauty and scientific research, there has been a corresponding growth in the infrastructure needed to support this industry. New research stations, airports, and other facilities have been built to accommodate the influx of people. However, this development has also raised concerns about the environmental toll, as the fragile Antarctic ecosystems face increasing pressure from human activity. Tourism and its impact on the region. Some of the key challenges include the potential for pollution, disruption to wildlife habitats, and the carbon footprint associated with transportation to and from the continent. Strict regulations and careful management will be essential to ensure that the growth of Antarctic tourism is sustainable and minimizes the impact on this unique and pristine environment. Indigenous populations and cultural preservation. Antarctica, long thought of as a barren, frozen wasteland, is in fact home to a small but resilient indigenous population, the Inuit. These hardy people have inhabited the southernmost continent for thousands of years, adapting their traditional ways of life to the harsh, unforgiving climate. Despite the challenges posed by isolation and the encroachment of modern civilization, the Inuit of Antarctica have fiercely protected their cultural heritage. From language and storytelling to intricate handicrafts and unique hunting and fishing practices, the Inuit have strived to pass down their traditions to future generations. However, the impacts of climate change, resource exploitation, and increased tourism threaten the delicate balance of Inuit life in Antarctica. As ice sheets melt and access to the continent becomes easier, the Inuit face growing pressure to adapt and evolve, often at the expense of their traditional ways. Technological advancements and logistical challenges. Satellite communication. Reliable satellite communication has been a game-changer for operations in Antarctica. Advanced satellite networks now provide robust voice, data, and video connectivity, enabling real-time collaboration, remote monitoring, and emergency response. This critical infrastructure allows scientists, support staff, and explorers to stay connected, share data, and coordinate activities across the vast, isolated continent. Autonomous vehicles. The harsh, unpredictable conditions of Antarctica have driven the development of sophisticated autonomous vehicles. Unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, and unmanned ground vehicles, UGVs, equipped with advanced sensors and navigation systems can now survey remote areas, monitor wildlife, and transport supplies without putting human lives at risk. These robotic platforms are revolutionizing scientific research and logistical operations in the region. Energy solutions. Meeting the energy demands of Antarctic research stations and expedition teams has been a long-standing challenge. However, technological innovations in renewable energy, such as wind turbines, solar panels, and fuel cells, are providing sustainable power sources that can operate reliably in the extreme cold and harsh environments. These advancements are reducing the reliance on fossil fuels and minimizing the environmental impact of human activities in Antarctica. The future of Antarctica, opportunities and uncertainties. As the world grapples with the unprecedented challenges posed by climate change, the future of Antarctica remains shrouded in both promise and peril. This vast, pristine continent, long regarded as the last great wilderness on Earth, now stands at a crossroads, its delicate ecosystems and strategic importance gaining increased global attention. On one hand, Antarctica's immense untapped resources, from mineral deposits to renewable energy potential, offer enticing economic opportunities. The possibility of unlocking new scientific discoveries and technological advancements through continued exploration and research also holds immense promise for humanity. However, the risks of uncontrolled exploitation and the urgent need to safeguard Antarctica's fragile environment create a complex web of competing interests and uncertain outcomes. The future of Antarctica, opportunities and uncertainties. 2100 years. The Antarctic Treaty System, which has governed the continent since 1959, is set to expire in 2100, raising concerns about the future of international collaboration and the potential for geopolitical tensions to escalate. 50% decline. Recent studies have projected a 50% decline in the iconic Antarctic ice shelves by the end of the century, with dire consequences for coastal communities worldwide and the unique flora and fauna that call this region home. Amid these challenges, the future of Antarctica will be shaped by a delicate balance between scientific advancement, environmental protection, and global cooperation. Policymakers, researchers, and the international community must work together to develop a sustainable vision for the continent, one that preserves its pristine natural wonders while responsibly harnessing its vast potential. The decisions made today will echo through the centuries, determining the fate of this last great wilderness and the planet we all share.